You've probably heard that drinking water first thing in the morning is one of the healthiest habits you can adopt, and in many ways, that's true. But there's something people don't talk about enough: how morning hydration can actually harm your body if done the wrong way. Surprising, right? After all, it's just water. But the truth is, as we age, our bodies respond differently than they did in our 30s or 40s. What once felt good might not feel the same in your 60s, 70s, or beyond. That's not because you're doing anything wrong. It's simply because your body now needs a little more care, a little more attention. You've lived a full life. Your heart, kidneys, and digestive system have worked hard for decades. So when you wake up in the morning, your body is in a delicate state. Hormones are rebalancing, blood pressure is adjusting, your stomach and muscles are slowly coming back online. And if you don't approach that moment with gentleness, even something as simple as drinking water can have a negative effect. In this video, we're going to explore 5 common mistakes people often make when drinking water first thing in the morning. Most people have no idea they're even making them. By the end, you'll know exactly what to avoid, and you'll feel more confident about supporting your body the right way during those crucial first minutes of the day. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you tuning in from? Drop your city in the comments below. I always enjoy hearing where you're watching from. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more helpful tips like this one. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Mistake number 1: drinking ice-cold water on an empty stomach. Let me ask you, have you ever taken a big gulp of cold water in the morning only to feel your stomach twist or a chill run down your chest? Some people even feel a little dizzy or get a sudden headache afterward, and usually they just brush it off, assuming it's something else. But here's what's really going on. Drinking ice-cold water right after waking up, especially on an empty stomach, can be a jolt your body isn't ready for. Here's why. While you sleep, your body enters a state of rest and repair. Your organs slow down. Digestion takes a break. Blood vessels become slightly constricted. Then morning comes, and instead of easing into the day, we shock our system with a glass of freezing cold water. It's like slamming on the brakes while the engine's still warming up. This sudden jolt causes your stomach muscles to tighten, your blood vessels to constrict even further, and your entire system to go into high alert. And as we age, our bodies aren't as quick to recover from that kind of stress. Back in your younger years, ice-cold water might have felt refreshing, even energizing. But now, things change. Your metabolism slows, your circulation becomes more sensitive, and your body doesn't handle extremes as easily as it used to. That cold water, instead of waking you up, can leave you feeling uncomfortable. Cold hands, stomach cramps, sluggish digestion. Not because water is bad, but because that temperature is too harsh first thing in the morning. Take Eleanor, for example. She's 76, sharp and full of life. For years, she swore by her morning glass of ice-cold water straight from the fridge. She liked how it cleared her throat and gave her a little boost. But then she began noticing that her hands would go cold, her stomach would tense up, and her digestion just didn't feel quite right. Her doctor suggested a simple change: try room temperature water instead. Within a week, Eleanor felt a difference. Her mornings were calmer, her stomach stopped tying itself in knots, and that cold jolt was replaced by a gentler, more comfortable start to her day. It was such a small shift, just letting the water sit out for a bit or using lukewarm water, but it made a big impact. It's a good reminder. What once worked for us may not serve us the same way now. Our bodies have carried us through so much. They deserve kindness and care. The least we can do is start the day with water that supports us, not shocks us. So, if you've been reaching for that icy glass as soon as you wake up, try switching to room temperature water for a few days. See how your body responds. You just might be surprised at how much better your mornings feel. Mistake number 2, drinking water too fast or in big gulps. Now, I get it. When you wake up thirsty with a dry mouth, it's tempting to grab that glass of water and just chug it down. It feels satisfying, like you're doing something good for your body right away. But here's the catch. Drinking water too quickly, especially in those first few minutes after waking up, can actually throw your body off balance. And most people don't even realize it's happening. When you first wake up, your body is still slowly transitioning from rest. Your heart rate is gently rising, your blood pressure is adjusting, and your stomach lining is still waking up. Everything is easing back into motion after a full night of sleep. And then, bam, you pour a full glass of water down in one big gulp. That sudden intake can cause your stomach to expand rapidly, trigger bloating, or even make you feel a little nauseous or lightheaded. Some people even notice an odd flutter in their chest and can't figure out where it's coming from. But the problem isn't the water, it's the pace. When you drink too fast, your body doesn't have time to adjust. Your kidneys suddenly shift into high gear to process the fluid. Your electrolyte levels can fluctuate. And for older adults, who tend to be more sensitive to those shifts, it can lead to feeling off for hours. Let me tell you about Walter, a 72-year-old retired coach. He shared that he used to down a full bottle of water before even getting out of bed. He thought it was a healthy routine, but on some mornings he felt unexpectedly dizzy. Not every day, but often enough to be a concern. After describing it to his doctor, they pinpointed the issue. It wasn't what he was drinking, it was how. So he made one small change. Instead of rushing, he started sipping his water slowly over 15 to 20 minutes. No more gulping, no more hurry. And just like that, the dizziness disappeared. His mornings felt steadier. His energy stayed more balanced. No medications, no complicated fixes, just a more mindful approach to hydration. Sometimes the smallest adjustments make the biggest difference, and sipping your water slowly might be all it takes to start your day feeling calm, clear, and in tune with your body. So here's something worth remembering. Your body doesn't want a flood first thing in the morning. It wants a gentle stream. Take your time, sit up, breathe, sip. Let your body receive the water, not be overwhelmed by it. This isn't a race, it's a small act of care. If you've been chugging your water just to check it off the list, try slowing down tomorrow. Pay attention to how you feel afterward. Sometimes, the smallest changes can lead to the biggest improvements. Mistake number 3, drinking from plastic bottles left out overnight. This one might surprise you, especially if you're someone who keeps a water bottle on the nightstand. A lot of people do. It's convenient, it's right within reach, and it seems like a smart habit. But here's the part most folks don't think about. Drinking from plastic bottles that have been sitting out overnight, especially in a warm room, can expose you to chemicals you don't want in your body. Even if the water looks perfectly clear, that bottle might have been slowly leaching substances into it while it sat. One of the biggest concerns is something called BPA, which is commonly found in older or lower quality plastics. And even if your bottle is labeled BPA-free, that doesn't necessarily mean it's free from risk. Many plastics still contain other chemicals, often called BPA alternatives, that behave in similar ways once time and heat are involved. These chemicals are known as endocrine disruptors. That means they can interfere with or mimic your body's natural hormones, and as we age, our hormonal balance is already more delicate. Maybe you're on thyroid medication, managing your blood pressure, or trying to keep blood sugar levels steady. When foreign chemicals enter the system, even in tiny amounts, they can make it harder for your body to stay in balance. You might not notice anything dramatic at first, but over time, many people report feeling more tired, more bloated, moodier, or just not quite themselves, and they can't figure out why. Let me tell you about Stanley. He's 78 and has always taken hydration seriously. Every night he'd fill up a plastic bottle from the tap, leave it on his nightstand, and drink from it first thing in the morning. It seemed like a healthy habit, but after a few months, Stanley started noticing changes: more frequent headaches, strange digestive issues, and fatigue that lingered even after a full night's sleep. His diet hadn't changed, and his doctor didn't find anything alarming. But after speaking with a nutritionist, they pinpointed a simple, overlooked culprit: his plastic water bottle. He'd been refilling and reusing the same one for months, and it sat near a warm lamp each night, slowly leaching chemicals into the water. So he made a small switch. He began using a glass bottle instead, and each morning he filled it with fresh water. Within just a few weeks, his headaches started to fade, his energy came back, and he began feeling like himself again. Now, let's be clear. Drinking from a plastic bottle once or twice isn't going to ruin your health. But if you're doing it every single day, for weeks or months, the exposure adds up. Your liver, kidneys, and hormones are all working hard behind the scenes to process what you put into your body, and for older adults, even minor stressors can make a difference over time. So, if you've got a plastic bottle sitting on your nightstand right now, it might be time for a simple upgrade. Choose glass or stainless steel. Fill it fresh each morning. This small change can give your body a little less to worry about and a little more support as you start your day. Mistake number 4: drinking water on a very full or very empty stomach after taking medications. Let's take a moment to think about your typical morning. You wake up, take your medications, and follow them with a glass of water. Sounds like the right move, right? After all, most doctors recommend taking pills with water. But what often isn't explained clearly is how much water to drink, when to drink it, or whether food should be part of the process. And those small details, they can make a big difference. Here's why. Drinking too much water too quickly on a completely empty stomach right after taking medication can lead to nausea, bloating, or even heartburn. It can irritate the stomach lining or interfere with how your body absorbs the medication. On the other hand, if you've just eaten a large breakfast and then take your medication with a big glass of water, that can also be a problem, especially for medicines that are meant to be taken on an empty stomach. Your digestive system is more sensitive than we often give it credit for, and in the morning, it's still trying to find its rhythm. Hormones are shifting, acidity levels are adjusting. Your system isn't quite ready for extremes, either too much water or too much food, especially when medication is involved. And when you toss back a handful of pills with a full glass of water, your system might respond with, "Wait a minute, I wasn't ready for that." Let me tell you about Margaret. She's 80 and has been on thyroid medication for years. Her routine was always the same: take her pill, drink a big glass of water, wait a while, then eat breakfast. But then something changed. Out of nowhere, she started feeling queasy in the mornings. Her medication hadn't changed. Her meals were the same. Her blood work looked fine. But the nausea kept showing up. Eventually, her doctor asked her a simple question: "How are you taking your medication?" That's when they figured it out. She was drinking too much water, too quickly, too soon after taking her pill. Her stomach couldn't handle it. So she made one small change. Instead of a big glass of water, she started sipping just enough to swallow the pill. Then she waited a solid 45 minutes before eating. The result? The nausea vanished, And even better, her follow-up labs showed improved thyroid levels. That one small shift helped her body absorb the medication more effectively and gave her mornings a calmer, gentler rhythm. Here's what you can take from that. Pay close attention to how your body responds after you take medication. If you've been feeling foggy, nauseous, or just not quite right, don't assume it's just the meds or your age. It might be how you're pairing your medication with water or food. Try sipping instead of gulping. Give your body time before breakfast. Don't flood your system the moment you wake up. Sometimes it's not about doing something different, it's just about doing it with more care. Mistake number 5, skipping breakfast and replacing it with only water. Let's be honest, there's a lot of advice floating around these days, and not all of it fits everyone, especially as we age. You may have heard suggestions like, just drink water in the morning, or skip breakfast to let your body fast. Sure, that might work for younger folks or people following strict health plans, but for older adults, starting the day with only water and no food can quietly take a toll. When you wake up in the morning, your body is already gone without food for 8 to 10 hours, sometimes longer. That means your blood sugar is low, your energy stores are running thin, and your brain is in need of fuel to stay focused. Your muscles, too, need nutrients to stay strong and steady. So, while reaching for water first thing is helpful for hydration, drinking it without eating anything can leave your system running on fumes. At first, you might feel fine, but as the morning goes on, many people begin to notice signs of low energy, feeling shaky, irritable, mentally foggy, or unusually tired. Often, they blame it on stress or a bad night's sleep. But in reality, the issue is often something simpler. Your body hasn't received the nourishment it needs to function. Yes, water is essential. It helps rehydrate your cells and kickstart your digestion, but it can't replace nutrients. And if you're following that glass of water with nothing but coffee, or skipping food entirely, you're asking your body to perform without giving it the fuel it needs. That imbalance, especially over time, can quietly wear you down and make your mornings harder than they need to be. Let me share Alice's story. She's 69, independent, and always eager to try something new. She'd read about intermittent fasting and decided to skip breakfast to simplify her routine. She'd drink water in the morning and hold off on eating until noon. At first, it seemed like it was working. She lost a little weight and felt proud of her discipline. But then things shifted. Her mood dipped. Her memory started to feel foggy. She found herself repeating things or forgetting simple tasks. Her daughter noticed the changes and encouraged her to see a doctor. It turned out there was no major illness, just a lack of proper morning fuel. Her brain simply wasn't getting what it needed to function. So Alice made one small change. She started eating a light breakfast. Nothing heavy, just a boiled egg, a slice of toast, maybe a little fruit. And almost immediately, she felt better, more focused, more energized, like herself again. That one tiny shift made all the difference. So here's what I want you to take away from this. Don't confuse less with better, especially when it comes to breakfast. Drinking water is a great way to start your day, but it's only part of the routine. Your body also needs something solid to hold on to. A little protein, some fiber, something to give you strength and mental clarity. Because at this stage of life, taking care of yourself doesn't mean doing more. It means doing what works for your body. And sometimes, the best way to feel strong, steady, and alert is as simple as having a nourishing breakfast to go along with your morning water. If you've been skipping breakfast thinking it's doing you good, try adding something small tomorrow. A handful of nuts, a little oatmeal, or even a simple smoothie. You might be surprised by how much better your whole day feels when you give your body the nourishment it's quietly asking for. It's incredible, isn't it? Something as basic as water, something we've been drinking our entire lives, can start to feel different as we age. Not because water changed, but because we did. Our bodies have become wiser, more sensitive, and they ask us to listen a little more closely now. That's really what today's message has been about. Not fear, not rigid rules, just awareness. The kind that helps you notice the small things that quietly affect how you feel each day. Because if your mornings have felt a little off, if you've been bloated, lightheaded, anxious, or mentally foggy, it doesn't always mean something is wrong. Sometimes it simply means your routine could use a softer touch. Maybe tomorrow you'll skip the ice-cold water and try something room temperature instead. Maybe you'll take your time, sip slowly instead of rushing through it. Maybe you'll set aside that old plastic bottle and reach for a fresh glass one. Or maybe, just maybe, you'll pair your water with a little something to eat, giving your body the fuel it needs to start the day strong. If something in this video spoke to you, if a moment made you pause or think differently about your own routine, that's a wonderful thing. It means you're still learning, still growing, and still investing in your well-being. And that mindset, that awareness, it's powerful. Thank you for spending this time with me. I truly hope you'll try one of these small shifts tomorrow and just notice how your body responds. Trust it. It'll let you know. If you found this helpful, feel free to share it with someone you care about, a friend, a sibling, or even a neighbor. You never know who might be struggling with the same questions in silence. And if you'd like more gentle, honest health conversations like this, go ahead and subscribe or follow so we can keep learning together. Because your comfort matters, your clarity matters, you matter. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you again soon.